Free beer and hot wings in the morning. Grand Rapids rocks all day. 97.9 GRD rocks.
97.9 GRD rocks. The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show, partly cloudy. Thunderstorms passing through in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very rainy earlier than now. Getting better, hopefully. High of 82 eventually. This is, without a doubt, the biggest story in West Michigan in quite some time. Unfortunately, it's a sad story we've all been following for the better part of 3 years about the disappearance of Jessica Heeringa. And then as the story of Jeffrey Willis became more well-known when he was tied to another murder and attempted kidnapping, everybody kind of, I think most people kind of thought, I bet it's him related to Jessica Heeringa. And yesterday, a big announcement. This from Wood TVA.
The biggest development in the Jessica Heeringa case since her disappearance more than 3 years ago. Today, Jeffrey Willis, a man already charged with the 2014 murder, is now charged with kidnapping and killing Heeringa. Brian Sterling has been anchoring our coverage from Muskegon all day. He's joining us live once again tonight. Brian?
Marley, it is a bittersweet day for the Jessica Heeringa family. Of course, it's a giant step on the road to justice. But they're still left without their daughter, their mother, and their sister, and that's a void that will never be filled. But they do perhaps have the comfort tonight of knowing the man who may have killed her. Jeffrey Willis, a man prosecutors have called a monster. Moments after Willis walked out of court today, it was his cousin, Kevin Bloom, who walked into the same courtroom. Bloom, a former corrections officer, charged today with being an accessory after the fact in Heeringa's kidnapping and murder.
The scumbag.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, he said he helped her with the body.
Helped him with
and everything else.
Yeah.
Or helped him, his cousin.
I just saw, just as that was going, I saw this tweet from Ken Kolker, also from Wood TV 8. He said, 7 days after the abduction, Willis told police he'd been home with his wife. Phone records show he was at a grandfather's home where a cousin saw a body. So, unbelievable.
24-hour News 8 Sarah Hurwitz joining me now in Muskegon tonight with a breakdown of today's huge development. Sarah.
Well, Brian, an emotional day for families. Now, as news came out of Rebecca Bletch's alleged killer, her father says that it gave him some peace after not knowing what happened to his daughter. And now, after more than 3 years, the Heeringa family learning the same man allegedly killed their Jessica, not the news that a family friend says that they were hoping for.
After several weeks of conversations with my staff, myself, and investigators, late yesterday afternoon, my office issued charges against Jeffrey Willis and Kevin Bloom. Jeffrey Willis has been charged with the kidnapping and murder of Jessica Heeringa, and Kevin Bloom has been charged with accessory after the fact in relationship to the death of Jessica Heeringa.
Muskegon County Prosecutor DJ Hilson making that announcement this morning after 24-hour News 8 broke the story on woodtv.com, saying that he wouldn't go into detail about the evidence that led the department to charge Willis.
This comes at a time that a lot of people, including the Heeringa family, have been waiting for many years.
Later this afternoon, Willis making direct eye contact with what appeared to be a smirk on his face as Willis walked by prosecutors at his arraignment.
The felony complaint in this case, Mr. Willis, reads that Jeffrey Thomas Willis, on or about April 26 of 2013 in the city of Norton Shores, County Muskegon, State of Michigan, at or near 1196 East Sternberg Road, that you did in count 1, murder Jessica Lynn Heeringa.
In contrast, Willis's cousin Kevin Bloom avoiding eye contact as he entered the room, charged with accessory after the fact in Heeringa's kidnapping and murder. Heeringa's family not present in the courtroom, but Rebecca Bletch's father was.
My heart goes out to the Heeringa family. I want to express my condolences to them. Everyone in that family, my heart goes out to you. Yeah, my deepest sympathies.
More than 2 years.
It's got to be so hard. I mean, obviously, for her family and just everybody.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it's like to watch this and see the smirk. I mean, it wouldn't matter what expression he had. He's a monster.
Yeah.
You know, but it's made worse, it seems.
Yeah.
Of agony, wondering who shot and killed his daughter, showing up to court to make sure that he knows what's going on with this man accused of killing his daughter, and showing support for the Heeringas, just learning the devastating news.
It's good to know that this man, the brutal murderer of my daughter and their daughter, is going to sit in a courtroom and he's going to pay for his crimes.
And Willis is also charged with intent to commit sexual assault, alleging that he restrained Heeringa. Now, he is scheduled to be back in court September 28th. He was denied bond. Kevin Bloom, his bond was set at $250,000.
Boy, the differences between the court appearances of these two guys, Bloom not making any eye contact, Willis almost staring down the prosecutor.
Very fascinating to watch.
Interesting, yeah. The preliminary hearing is still to come, and we'll be there for that. Sarah Hurwitz, thank you for that live report tonight. Here's, again, a recap of how this case...
I'm really intrigued.
Yeah, I'm
as to what exactly is going on.
That's what I was going to say. I'm interested to see what they have, because a lot of times they have a hard time going after these guys when there is no body.
Right.
True, yeah.
And so, you wonder if they have found something, or if it's just testimony of the cousin or phone records, or if it's more, tertiary or secondary stuff. But
thank God if
he's led them somewhere.
Because this isn't somebody who had, these are not crimes. It was not a crime of passion where he.
Oh, no.
This is a monster.
No. I mean, it was a passion for him because he's a creep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But boy, between this and the guy that was doing mornings on the Christian state, Ballio.
John Ballio.
I mean, those were two monsters.
No, they're predators.
And predators, yeah.
It's
and there's probably more. Sadly.
There probably are, but it's still weird in this town, to think of people like that.
Absolutely.
Living amongst everyone,
Yep.
Yeah, it is. It's terrifying.
Even though, we're not a small city, but small enough.
Right.
Where you just don't
expect
it.
You ever see that theory that everyone has probably been in the presence of a murderer at some point in your life?
No, but that's crazy to think about.
On a bus with a murderer or whatever.
I think we've talked about that on the show before. I think about that all the time whenever I see a story like this. Like, I wonder if I ever had any interaction with that person. Yeah. Like, if I ever passed them on the street or like you said, was sitting on a bus with them or something.
Yeah.
Well, in Chicago, I wouldn't be. That doesn't shock me at all.
Yeah.
That I would have been next to on a bus, on a sidewalk with someone who's as gross as these two.
Well, that's why whenever we hear a story like this, or one of the other areas that the show is on, where there's some big story, I always go into our email account and look for the names.
I do too.
Yeah, I wonder if we've ever met them.
Thank goodness I haven't yet seen one.
Uh-huh.
So our heart goes out to everybody on this.
Yeah, I do feel confident in their confidence that they got their man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank God that, the girl who he tried to abduct, not only did she get away, but had the wherewithal to have really detailed information.
Right.
That led them to him. I mean, she knew, like, she remembered things. They say a lot of times witnesses or people in stress like that, they get a lot of details wrong. They're kind of right, but
reasonably
they're not quite right.
Oh, sure.
But she had a lot, like it described him.
Yeah.
It was, and so, this is all, thanks to her, really cracked that case open. I think that was a pretty cold case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't
seem like it.
Know where to go, so.
That's it for us. It's Metallica, Fuel, 97.9 GRD.
Give me fuel, give me fire.